Welcome back, guys, to another V-Rising video. I'll be honest, this is definitely not a video I expected to actually make. I kind of made it actually by accident. I've been looking around, in the past week or so, but trying to find something to do in V-Rising that I wanted to do. Obviously, I've been playing like an absolute maniac since before Gloomrot launch. And, after that, got kind of crazy, just going through multiple runs. And this past week, I started a few things. I've been playing on the dojo a little bit, just playing some PvP, getting some footage there. I haven't, put that together or anything. Really just trying to get my, scrub off all the rust there. And I also did a few fresh wipes, or at least started some fresh wipes, and they were just very boring, even though they were supposed to be PvP, and there was like people on the servers. So one of them was like, okay. There was some PvP, but it was just kind of a little bit cringe. Like people who were like level 60 something coming and ganking people who were like level 30 something. So I was like, I tried my best, almost killed one of them, which is kind of cool. But then it just got a little lame. So in the meantime, I was looking around on the V-Rising Discord and saw somebody post a thing for a RPG modded server. And I've always wanted to try this out. I've always wanted to try. I actually love mods in so many games, and like modded Valheim specifically is like one of my favorite things ever. It's so good. And I thought, I've never really actually looked into modded V-Rising that much, because I know it's not as, what's it called? It's not as deep as other games. Oh, by the way, this is the thing here, the Wicked Rat. Somebody showed me this in the tutorial zone. Just wanted to show this really quickly. People had questions of where this was. Somebody said, hey, by the way, there's a Wicked Rat, a little secret rat inside the tutorial, little tutorial boss. He has creature blood. He drops a bunch of bones. He is guaranteed to drop coins. So here is that boss. And so this is a 2x server here. So he dropped me 24 coins and obviously gave me some experience. Like I said, so I wanted to do a RPG server. Just wanted to try it out. Obviously, it's not heavily modded. It's not a heavily modded server. I'm sure there are servers out there that are like way more modded than this. But yeah, you'll see here, this little image going around me. I think it's kind of cool. Each time you hit a level, you kind of level up here. And the way that this works is, which you probably can understand here, is your gear that you're wearing does not affect your gear score in any way. Your gear score is now your level, and your level is based off of experience you gain by fighting and killing monsters. You'll see I'm already level 7. This was because this specific server, RPG server, was using a specific version of the mod, or I guess like settings of the mod, that lets you have really fast levels up to level 15, which, that seems pretty cool. Here's the problem that happened with me. I didn't actually read like anything on their Discord. I just saw RPG server and was like, oh, cool. And then I went to their Discord really quickly just to read like the basic rules in terms of like what the loot settings were. And I was like, oh, well, okay, whatever. Sounds cool. I'll figure it out. And just like jumped into the server, and I had no idea what was happening. So you see here, I hit level 15. I had no idea that this was like the soft cap in terms of like fast leveling. So I went over to kill Alpha Wolf as usual, which obviously is not very difficult because I'm level 15, significantly higher level than I would be with this gear otherwise. Normally I'd be level 10. So level 15, this is super easy. Then I headed over to Rufus and lucked into a set of lumberjack axes right here. Super nice. And decided, you know what? Well, hey, if I'm trying to get levels, I might as well fight Rufus. And again, like I said, I didn't actually know that levels were going to slow down. So after killing him here, the fight wasn't super difficult, obviously, because I'm level 15. Yet again, I'm level 15. But after killing him, I was like, oh, cool. Well, I killed Alpha Wolf. I didn't level, which is a little weird. And then I killed Rufus. Didn't level there either. And I was like, wait, what? Okay, well, whatever. Maybe there's like something else I need to do. So I found this little 93% worker. Kept going with the regular, thing that you would normally do on a normal run. Killed this forest dweller who was a skull, didn't level. Killed all of these guys, didn't level, on the way to Keeley. And at this point, I was getting very confused. I just couldn't really understand. I'm like, maybe it's like tied to like my castle quest. Like I had to put a castle heart down. And I was like, okay, well, no big deal. So I killed Keely as well. And wouldn't you know it, definitely don't level here as well. And so, you know, but I figured I might as well do some of this stuff, some of the important stuff, you know, before I go. So went over to a shady dealer, you know, got some stuff here. And we picked up a merciless copper spear recipe, saw that they had forged floors, and thought, all right, well, I got to definitely come back for that. Ran back towards Rufus's camp because I had a feeling I was going to catch Lydia, and what do you know, I did. Obviously, level 15, not really that difficult of a fight. It's literally just Keely with, you know, a little bit different attack pattern, really. It's an extremely easy fight. So we got that cleared up very easily. And I will say this, so, and by the way, this is technically a PvP server, and the reason I was like kind of interested in joining is because not only was it a modded server, but it was like when I joined, it had wiped like a day or and a half before. And I figured, oh, well, there's probably going to be people on this server still. You know, it's only been a day and a half, and it's an RPG server. I can imagine that would be probably a little slower. But there was like no one anywhere. So that was kind of annoying. Never saw a soul. Very obnoxious. But anyway, I got some money, you know, went and got the forged floors, and we found some decayed castles, which, like I said, I was like, this thing wiped like a day and a half ago, and there's already like built up castles with tons of mats. Very weird. You know, just like sitting around all over the place, and they're already decayed. So I just thought, I didn't know what was going on, so, but obviously this is a huge boost. Just be able to find something like this right away. I tried to use the workbench, but I forgot that you can't use the workbench if there's no blood in the castle heart. And I was like, oh man, that would have been so nice to be able to. I wish they would actually change this. I think this is actually worth changing, in my opinion. Like, I don't think not having blood in your castle heart should be a reason why you can't use your stuff. I think that's a little silly, to be honest. And in fact, I think it'd be kind of cool to be able to find, you know, similar to like Rust, where you find like a decayed base or like an open base or whatever, and you can like jump in and like craft some stuff if you want to. Yeah, I wish they could do that here, but we got some really good loot here. Obviously, this is an enormous boost, an absolutely huge boost with loot. And I was obviously very excited. I was. Here's the funny thing, I actually wasn't even planning on doing a full run on this server. I honestly just wanted to come in and see what the RPG server was like, and then decide if I was like, oh, maybe I'll play another one whenever I find like a fresh wipe, or like maybe like some big server will do an RPG mod sometime, and it might be fun. So I just stuck around on the server and decided I originally thought I was only going to play for a few hours just to see how it was. You'll see here I'm running up. I decided, oh, I'll put a base instead of, I always put a base in Farbane, so I might as well put a base in Dunley. So I found the god spot in Dunley, and what do you know? It was taken, but decayed, which means more loot for us. So, just quickly breaking in through these doors, just looking through the walls there, trying to find, see if they have anything interesting. And definitely had some stuff. Now, this is a little obnoxious here. So I'm looking through, and I'm like, oh, cool. So there's stuff inside the, the tailoring bench here. Swap out my cape. And look at this look at that cotton yarn right there. So definitely, that's like a ton of cotton yarn. I was like, oh, cool, I'll just grab that in a second. So I destroy it. Destroy the heart. Put my heart down. Do my quick little foundations or whatever so I can do this. And then I walk over to pick up the loot. And the stuff is gone. Like, not all of the loot. Like, obviously the containers are still there, but the stuff inside of the looms, the cotton yarn, was just gone. And I was like, wait, what? Maybe I'm missing something? I was looking around like crazy, couldn't find it. Which obviously very annoying. Like, so very, really, really frustrating, because I definitely could have just made space if I knew that that was going to happen. But I felt like, I was kind of confused. I didn't actually think it was going to happen, so. Anyway, so from there, we just set down a base really quick and, threw together our forge room, just kind of making plans, because since I already had forged floors, I figured I might as well just get things started right away. And this is where, I've talked about the modular base design stuff that I've done in the past. It's just so nice to be able to do this and calculate out in your head before you even make your castle, like make your rooms and place your refining things. Just knowing, okay, I need a 2x2 for this. a 3x2 for that, etc., etc. Just like knowing the style of castle you want and how you want to be able to build that is just so nice. Just to be able to do that quick, like building a castle very quickly, an efficient castle very quickly. That's going to set you up for success, like all the way down the road, instead of just like reacting to what you need to, what you're going to build whenever you need it. But anyway, so we're setting up our forge room here, just tossing our stuff in, making some Night Stalker, that kind of thing. By the way, some of the loot I found, you'll see I already have Merciless Copper Mace and axes and a Gravedigger ring, and we just made Night Stalker plus Merciless Night Stalker vest. So I think altogether, I believe that gear score equivalent, like what the gear score would be here, is, let's see, 34, I believe. So 30 with Night Stalker plus Merciless Iron or Merciless Copper weapon, and then like a Blood Rose ring. But then we have one piece of Merciless Night Stalker, and that upgraded the Gravedigger ring. So from here, I was like, okay, I've done all that stuff with my castle. You'll see now my next quest is to build a stone coffin. I'm like, okay, I did so many quests. Again, at this point, I didn't know what was going on with my experience. I didn't even know how to do chat commands. I had no idea what was going on. I was like, man, why can't I level up? That's weird. I got to level 15 really quick, and then I killed like 4 bosses, and a bunch of other stuff and didn't gain any levels. That's kind of weird. So I came here, killed Errol, didn't level up yet again, and I was like, man, what is going on? Like, this is just weird. And I thought, oh, well, I'm not going to wait around. Maybe I'll go kill somebody else. I'm not going to sit here and just like, I really was not really concerned about this playthrough. I was kind of just having fun, messing around with the RPG thing. I was like, oh, well, maybe if I just kill enough things, maybe it is an experience thing. I wasn't really sure exactly what was happening, and then so I decided, I can kill Grayson. Grayson's not too difficult, even though I'm only level 15. So I'm going to say this: even though I have gear equivalent that would be normally like level 34 in the real game, on the RPG mod, whenever you have a low gear score, whatever your level is, that's the scaling that you get against bosses. So like, oh, and see, look at here. So I killed Grayson, and I leveled up twice. And I thought, ooh, wait a minute. Okay, cool. We're back in business. We are now leveling. So I thought, okay, well, maybe I need to kill big bosses. So let's go ahead and head over, and we'll kill Clive, because I'm really confident with Clive, even though I'm level 17. And, if he hits me, it's going to do insane damage. And I'm going to be doing really low damage to him. I felt pretty confident. I fought this guy so many times. I wasn't really concerned. So we just take him out really quick, which, again, level 17, so any damage taken is going to be a big risk, but it was no big deal. And here we go. Let's see what the experience is, and look at that. We gained 2 more levels. That's why I thought, all right, well, cool. Now I'm getting 2 levels of boss, so I might as well just fight some more stuff. Went around, found some more decayed castles. I mean, they were just all over the place. So quick little loot check here. Obviously, you can break in really easily. Just a few people here. Just checking some loot. And there wasn't really much. I don't believe there was all that much in here. Killed the dude here. And just checked out the loot. Yeah, we got a few things. Just some copper coins to buy potions later. And other than that, it wasn't too much. So, again, we'll check this little box here. Yeah, I mean, not too much. Just some hearts. Obviously, grab those hearts so we can make some greater blood essence. Yeah, but other than that, really wasn't much to it. So after that, again, I wanted to keep going on my grind. Really wanted to make sure that I was getting more levels because oh yeah, that's right. I ran around, found yet another decayed castle. This is going to be a pretty common theme at the beginning of this run because it really there were so many things everywhere that were just decayed. And so for me, I figured, might as well just take advantage. In the past, I did a run where I wanted to make it like quote unquote legit, just to show like a regular run, but I was playing on an established server. So I didn't really want to take advantage. I think it was my alpha. It was alpha to Adam. I didn't want to take advantage of decayed bases until a certain point. But in this run, all bets are off. And in any other normal run that I do, if I can get into your base and get your loot, I'm doing it. If it's decayed, I don't care. If it's a fully tier 5 maxed out loot thing, it's decayed, I don't care. My goal is to go as fast as possible, so that's kind of what I do. But anyway, so we stopped off, grabbed a bunch of potions with all the copper coins that we had, and just hit up our research. Obviously, we have a ton here. And you got our sulfur cooking, try to get ourselves set up. Even though we had a bunch of sulfur from one of the things that we looted, we just headed back out and went right back down south. And I figured, I'm level 19. There's not a lot of bosses I can fight, so wait, why don't I just fight Ferocious Bear? I might as well. He's been nerfed so much, even though it's like a huge level disparity. I think it's like 16 levels or something. For me, I was like, it's Ferocious Bear. Before, I would have fought him anyway. And now he's like giga nerfed, so I might as well just destroy him and see what happens. So just did our stuff, dodged that, and there we go. Got our another 2 levels, so I'm level 21. And so I really started thinking, okay, well, I could go kill Quincy right now, but there's also other bosses I'm going to have to kill anyway, like Gore Swine. So I might as well, just clear out some more tier 1 bosses to get that experience. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. And so on the ride over, I saw Lydia and Alpha Wolf fighting, and I thought, oh, I'm 21. So we should probably take advantage of this. This is 2 bosses. Again, I had yet to find how to even track my experience. So I thought, well, this is probably going to be a lot of experience. So kill both of them and suck that. Alpha Wolf didn't give me a level, but Lydia did. So we hit level 22. And we went right over to Gore Swine, who obviously not very difficult, and that dinged us up to 24. And so at this point I'm thinking, as fun as it is to kill these bosses and get stuff, instead of just farming, I'm just going to go to Quincy. I could sit here and farm bosses over and over again so I could get to a quote-unquote comfortable level, but I really don't care. I fought Quincy at a way lower level than this. I think the lowest I killed him was 17 on a PvP server. And it was just because it was open when I joined. Somebody left the door open, walked up, killed Quincy. It was sucked, but we made it happen. So I figured, whatever, this isn't going to be that difficult. Even though he's, at this point, I think he's, 13 levels higher than me. It really is not that difficult, especially whenever my gear specifically. So the difference in this server, what made it interesting to me, something that made it very interesting, was that while, yes, my eye level, or, the scaling was definitely difficult, my damage is just nothing in these fights. You see there, it's 16 and 20. That's that's okay, for a Chaos Volley. But, my weapon damage really wasn't doing much. And as well, and on top of that, they did so much damage because they were such a high level. The bosses were doing insane damage to me because they were such a high level compared to me. But the thing that was nice was that generally I had gear that was a high enough level, or had armor that had a high enough HP amount that even though they were doing insane damage, I still had just enough HP to tank it comfortably. So where a move normally, if I was that much lower of a level, one hit would have been at the level I was at, one hit would have been I don't even know, half my HP, a third of my HP, if it was a really solid hit. In this situation, it was nice because I was able to do I'd tank a little bit more. So anyway, we came back to base, made our smithy with all the mats we had. I had so much iron that I found on one of the bases that I just immediately was well, I might as well just start making items. Made the axes, made some spears, and came to Iron Mine to try to get some more levels. We definitely hit a bunch of levels in here because everything was such a higher level than us that I just started smacking things and getting tons of experience. Figured I'd take on Krieg and Meredith, but in a rare win, Meredith actually beat Krieg, which is kind of annoying. I actually wished that I would have been able to kill Meredith. Obviously, it would have been 2 kills there, but whatever. And I'm thinking I'm not going to mess with her, so I came back down, just fought a few more guys. And you can see how fast we're leveling now because everything in here is just such a high level that we're just getting level after level after level. Immediately we're level 30. So before anything, before going to fight Beatrice, I decided to actually come up here to Dunley Monastery, get our Scourge Stone farm started, and also to unlock the teleporter up here, which is just a really useful teleporter overall, especially since I didn't have any access to cave passages with my base in Dunley. I figured I probably need to just unlock as many teleporters as I can to really just take advantage of that. So anyway, after that, we came over to Dawnbreak and killed a bunch of guys, got some more experience, definitely got our levels yet again. It hit level 31 right here. And obviously, we were also here to kill Beatrice, who I think if you were wanting to do this and you wanted to like get some pretty easy free experience, she's probably pretty worth to farm because she's just such an easy thing to take. So there you have it. We're level 32. And at that point, I'm thinking, okay, well, level 32, and then we kill this one guy. We hit level 33. I'm thinking, okay, well, level 33 with iron is actually what I usually do. So I, ran to the cotton fields, pressed E, pressed E, pressed E again, pressed E one more time, pressed it one more time, and we press it again. And then went back to Dunley Monastery. And yeah, like I said, I'm thinking at this point, okay, I actually feel like it's a regular run now because I have iron weapons in a level 33. It seemed pretty normal to me. So anyway, came back to base, tossed on my cotton, and had to take a quick break. So I just, definitely logged off there. It had already been about 2.5 hours. I was just playing casually. Wasn't really trying to speed or anything. Just having some fun. And we came back on to a modest 300 cotton yarn. So, just a small amount there. Went ahead and made our tailoring bench, and of course, got ourselves set up with some Holofang. And, just wanted to make the Reaper and Spear because I really wanted to start using more weapons. Something that was it's kind of obnoxious to me. I kind of accidentally nerfed myself. Oh yeah, by the way, look, I finally found out the chat system, the chat commands. So .help shows you everything. And I was like, wait, what? Okay, cool. Let's just take a look here and see what we got. I definitely started reading all of this. There was just so much to read. I was like, okay, let's get the experience log on. And that was great. I'm like, oh, cool. And then there was like a mastery system I could look up. And I started looking through all this. And I was like, dude, I'm not reading all this. Like, it's cool. It seems like the more you use spells, you can get more like cooldown. A little bit of cooldown. It wasn't that much. And then like a little bit of damage. Looking at my experience here, I could see like, oh, here's my current experience. Pretty cool. I also had bloodlines. I wasn't sure how to even change any of this. Apparently you can change it. So I was just like, okay, whatever. I'm going to go kill Quincy again because I want some more experience. Obviously I'm level 33 and he was level 37. So a little bit of a difference there. But I thought, we definitely need to get some more experience. I want to see what happens on my experience bar. So watch the chat log. Killed him, and it says you gained this much experience. You're now level 34, and I'm like, okay, cool. Now I can see what's actually happening. So that was super nice. Definitely fixed the run for me. I was like, well, cool. Now I'll know if it's like even worth to be grinding experience, so I'll know like what I'm getting from these things. So this whole situation is a must do. It's definitely huge here, as you can see. Just knowing I can go in and kill some guys and get another level. Hitting 35, and now we're definitely climbing. But I noticed that 35 wasn't high enough to actually like go through my VBlood menu, and so I didn't know really who to kill at this point to get more experience. So I figured, why not just head over to the Church of the Damned and kill Leandra, because definitely a lot of guys here I can kill for experience because they were dropping pretty solid experience, and I'm confident with Leandra. So we started out on horseback, but she immediately knocked us off because I'm dumb. So I figured, what, let's just do it on foot for now, and we'll go back onto the horse whenever we need it. So, just fighting her here. Took some damage like a dummy, but no, again, no big deal. She drops health orbs, so I wasn't really concerned. Just fought her for a little bit more, did a bunch of damage, got back on horseback about halfway through whenever I knew she was going to start going invisible, because being on horseback when she's invisible just makes it a non-issue. So definitely just, murdered her there. Level 35, Leandra, she's still, what, 47? So it's like a 12 level difference. So I figured this is going to be a nice chunk of experience as well as unlocking the Scourgestone Pendant, and I was correct. So we hit level 36 with that. Got some tailoring floors there. Obviously, super nice drop. Yeah. So from here, I was like, oh, maybe I'll just start doing some farming. You know, I will do some farming. It should be fun. And, you know, spend a little bit of time kind of just killing some enemies. And then I thought, dude, I have hundreds of hours in this game. I am not about to spend, 5 hours just killing random normal enemies. So I thought, all right, let's just go kill something else. So we killed Vincent the Frostbringer because, he's not all that difficult solo for me. And I really wanted the ability to start getting prisoners. So we got that unlocked, hit level 38. And as I'm running back, wouldn't you know it, perfect timing, we found a 91% warrior just on the road right outside our base as I was heading back after having just unlocked the prison cells. So very fortuitous timing. Very, very good timing. From there I decided, you know what? We have actually really solid gear. I think at this point my gear score equivalent was 44, like with the gear that I had. Plus there was like masteries going on, which kind of felt like they were making up for just a little bit of the damage that I was losing from being underscaled. So even though I was still taking a ridiculous amount of damage with like every hit from these guys who were just like such a high level compared to what I was was still doing like fairly decent damage. You know, like fairly decent damage. So I figured I might as well just, take advantage of all that and just keep fighting guys and use my skill. Because, I mean, I have so much experience fighting these bosses. I'm not going to shy away from an under-leveled fight. So, anyway, came back to base, made our Scourgestone Pendant, kept ourselves going there. And I decided at this point, I have a very clunky base, and I'm tired of clearing out stones and stuff. And I didn't want to put foundation down there, so I just decided, let's just go ahead and make like an upstairs. So we made a new version of the base on the upstairs level, made ourselves a little bit of a forge room, made ourselves a little bit of a workshop, a tailoring room. Eventually we made an alchemy room, and as well as just a little jewel room as well to put our jewelry stuff in some storage. So yeah, overall just took a little bit of a base break here. Slowly but surely, just making a cool little upstairs base, place to keep our guys. Put our Scourgestone Pendant on, and we were back out yet again. And it was time for us to go kill our long-lost friend, Tristan. But as we were going, found yet another decayed castle, yet again, and, grabbed some more brick. Look, hey, again, always got to love this. Do a little bit of a loot check, show you guys what we got here. It wasn't too much, but, definitely enough that warranted stopping for it. Saw the dust colors there and thought, I should probably make some of those whenever I get the chance. So, but yeah, checked anything in the loot, and yeah, it was pretty good. Pretty solid loot, especially if, for building more castle stuff, so... But anyway, from there, we got the Tristan fight started. Very confident with this fight. Really not much of an issue, especially at this level. This is like a normal level for me to do this fight for me. Normally I've done it lower than this, so I wasn't really concerned about it, and no issues there. And was happy to unlock the Iron Greatsword as well, because like I said, I really wanted to start using more weapons. Oh, that's what I was saying. I wanted to, I kind of have spent a lot of time when I first started playing V Rising. I spent a bunch of time using multi-weapons and weapon swaps. And then when I started making videos, I've had this feeling that like people who normally play this game probably aren't doing weapon swaps all the time. So I should probably, tone it down and just use like one weapon to make it a little bit easier for them to follow. But this run I was like, nah, I'm gonna go all out and just start using more weapons, because I realized I was actually getting very bad with my weapon swaps, and I had would forget what buttons my stuff was even put on, because I was like, wait, what What bind did I put my, my Reaper on, etc.? But anyway, I'm gonna show this full Maja fight here because we are 7 levels lower. But again, like I said, our damage it's pretty low, but it's not too bad. And this is a very important progression boss. Just wanted to show what you can do in this kind of a situation, like in this fight. It really, even though I'm 7 levels lower and she's doing a really solid amount of damage when I get hit, if you just have the gear that I'm using right now, the Scourgestone Pendant, full Hollow Fang, and an Iron Weapon, you should absolutely slaughter her, because I'm 7 levels low. I'm 10 levels lower than what that should be. I should be level 50 in this situation, like with a regular eye level, but because of the RPG mod, I'm 10 levels lower. So I just wanted to show, like, hey, even if you're 10 levels lower than what I should be and 7 levels lower than Maja. So I figured I just wanted to show you guys, look, if you're this low, if you're, a decent enough level, you should be able to beat here. So just wanted to show exactly what I was doing there. Ward of the Damned coming in clutch. Reaper is just absolutely destroys her. So super nice. So yeah, hit 41 there. And took a quick trip up to, Cursed Forest just to unlock this Waygate, because I knew I was going to be heading there fairly soon, so I figured I might as well just unlock that now since Maja's tower is not too far away from that. Threw down the study and got some research done over here. There we go. Got the upgraded pendant recipe that I found. Not only that, it's a good one, and got the Bloodrush Brew recipe. So at this point, I took a break after making the pendant. I took a quick break and I came back. When I came back, unfortunately, I made the dumb decision to swap the monitor. I had to swap monitors from where I was playing the game from a 1440p monitor to a 1080p monitor. So this part of the footage is going to be a little whack because I forgot that my recording window was actually 1440p, so I had to like crop this video down. But anyway, so I decided from there, you know what? I killed Maja. I'm confident with Octavian. Let's just see what I can do. I'm level 41. He's level 57. 16 level difference, eye level difference. He's going to be hitting like a truck. But maybe if I just don't get hit, it shouldn't be that big a deal. So obviously we're doing some pretty decent damage here. Doing, solid amounts of damage. And I'm actually I wanted to show this whole fight as well because first of all, I thought it'd be cool to show like a 16 level eye difference. If I get hit, it's just like a huge chunk of damage. You'll see that in this fight. But also because I did something / learned something that you can do in this fight that is rather nice, having to do with wolf form. So let me just show you real quick. So yeah, we're just smacking him down, keeping our distance, the classic strategy here. Strafing these, dodging if needed. There we go. Just strafe that little dash there. And strafe one way. When he commits to the attack, strafe back the other way. We're going to use our Reaper. Keep that distance. Smack him into the Reaper. All right, he's calling a friend. What do? We focus the friend. Who cares about him? We don't want to get hit by flame arrows. Knock him out of the way. Oh, got hit a little bit. You can see how much damage you're taking there. Oh, yep, got hit there. So that's 2 hits by him, and I'm already like a fifth of the health down. So pretty solid smacks from this guy. But I wasn't too concerned because we have health orbs. And I fought this guy, 500 times. So, okay, so here we go. We're getting in. He's definitely below half here. So at any moment, I knew Here's No Trick was coming. So I backed up a bit. We hit him with the Quincy ult to stun him out of it. Super nice to have learned that. That definitely helps this fight, especially at such a big level disparity. He calls some more friends here. And at this point, I'm like trying to time what I'm doing. You'll see how much damage I actually end up taking. I believe it's right now. Maybe in a second here. You'll see exactly what I mean by how much damage you can actually take from him here. Okay, so actually, at this point, I knew he was about to do Here's No Trick yet again. And so check this out. I thought, ooh, I have an idea. So I have to will form. There he is. Here's No Trick. Jump through the wall. And look at this. He's just sitting there chilling. I could probably heal there, but the Flame Archer was there, obviously. So I jump back through the wall, and then we're just safe. Literally just jump through the wall and just get in a corner so he gets stuck on the corner, and his AI doesn't know what to do. Boom, 123 damage. That's what I wanted to show. Look how much damage that is. Almost get hit yet again, which would have been an absolute catastrophe. But yeah, that's what happens whenever you make a mistake on this with the 16 level disparity. You get crushed. So even though I have, decent armor and stuff, with decent HP, it's still crazy. And so at this point, I was out of options. I couldn't wolf form through the wall again. I didn't have Quincy ult, so I just did the classic, pull him towards the corner and dash through him, and he got stuck back there. So there you have it. Quincy, level 41, 16 level disparity here. Obviously, my damage was still pretty much on par with what it should be, just based on the masteries and the RPG system. But the damage he was doing to me was very, very stout. So grab the loot here, got some levels. We hit, I believe, level 43. I think that was a 2-level ding right there. Super nice. And from there, I thought, okay, well, we killed Quincy. I'm sorry, Quincy. We killed Octavian. So who should I track? Let's hit up Bane. Why not? Let's hit up Bane. We definitely could use that human form. So let's just go ahead and keep it rolling. So as I'm running past my base to go out for Bane, what do you know? Find a nice little 98% rogue. So had to pick that one up since I was right close to my base here, next to the Dunley Farmers Market. So grabbed that real quick, and we took that home. And from there, we headed back, found Bane, and started to fight him. This fight is a really fun fight, and I was only 4 levels lower, so I was, not even concerned at all about this whole situation. But what was interesting is towards the end of the fight, look who decided to show up was Jade the Vampire Hunter. And as I'm doing this, I'm like, well, I'm going to get Bane. And so I start sucking, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, well, I just killed Octavian. Like, very easily. And I actually know every single attack she does. So why don't we just try it and see what happens? I'm level 44. She's, I think, level 57. 13 level difference here. And so here you can see we got her down to about half. Unfortunately, very annoying situation happened here. I kind of baited her up towards this cave, jumped down, and she decided, oh, cool. Okay, I'm just going to reset. So luckily she didn't full reset. She did gain some of her health back. But she did have to reset, which is obviously rather annoying. But from there, I'll show you how much damage she actually was doing with this disparity here. So I'm blocking this, and she hits me with 1 shot, 1 kill. Just look at this damage. Yeah, so there you go. Half my health, 1 hit. 1 hit, half the HP. Not a fun situation to be in. But it was no big deal. I managed to actually dodge the, you were done, bang, bang, bang. I was in a good position to just completely dodge it. So we happened to take her down level 44, taking down Jade at 57. So use that terrain, boys. Use Word of the Damned to distract. Use that terrain, and you can get her very, very easily. With enough practice, anyway. So picked up Merciless Iron Reaper there. Was pretty happy about that. Got that all taken care of, and we went back to base, crafted a couple Merciless Hollow Fang, because I figured the more HP, the better in this situation. Decided, okay, I'm probably going to make that Merciless Iron Reaper, but I should also probably make the Iron Pistols. So I decided, okay, you know what? I use axes way too much. Let's get these out of here. I swapped axes out, and we had Great Sword Pistols. I decided that was going to be kind of the thing that I was using a lot this time around. So, went to one of the traders real quick, got some Brews of Ferocity with all the coins we had, and decided to hit the Werewolf Village. You'll see here the damage I'm doing is just like nothing to these guys, and they're doing ridiculous damage to me. But I was getting like 250 experience a kill, and I thought, well, I need Pristine Hide. 215 experience a kill is a lot. So I might as well just like use this time to kind of work on my pistols and work on my Reaper. Because I know this sounds ridiculous. The game, this update's been out for so long, but I still don't feel confident like using these to their utmost potential. And so I decided, what, let's just go ahead and use these weapons now to really just kind of like get used to how they work. And I really, really enjoy them now. I'm still not totally perfect with them, but there's some really cool interactions you can do with both pistols and great swords. So anyway, after spending a bunch of time in here, getting a few more levels, getting some pristine hide. I was riding back to my base, and I noticed this base right next to me. So the only other guy I actually saw on the server I tried talking to, his name was Xander. And I don't know if he was an admin or something, or if something funky was going on. I don't know what was happening here. I was like, oh, let's go to his base, see if I can invade here. And I ride up to the door and look inside there. He has all 3 soul shards in this crappy base. And I thought that is really weird. So this server is a plentiful soul shard server. Again, I wasn't really expecting to do a full playthrough. I was kind of just having fun. But a plentiful soul shard server, I thought, oh, those must just be his soul shards. And he's like building that spot up to be his main base. Well, then I looked on the map and this was his other base. And I thought, oh, it must be like a progression base. Let me go take a look at what he has in here. And I looked through the door and he has 3 soul shards in there as well and like nothing else. He just has grinders and sawmills and that's all he has. So I don't know what's going on there. I'm like, maybe he's an admin or something? Or maybe, I don't know. Like, is he like cheating in some way? I have no idea. Very weird situation. But anyway, so I decided from there, you know what? You know, that those werewolves are pretty crazy, but I need mutant grease and I need levels. So I went up to Gloomrot here. Since everything there was way higher level than I was, so I figured they would be giving me a really solid amount of experience. You can see on the bottom left, they're giving a ton of experience here, like, 200-ish experience per enemy. But these guys hit extremely hard, and there's just so many of them. So definitely just spent my time up here. And what is a trip to Gloomrot without a trip to the Pools of Rebirth? And what is a trip to the Pools of Rebirth with at this low of a level without a near-death experience every other second? So you'll see here just how much damage these guys are doing. I'm like, oh, uh-oh, we're in trouble. Then I get caught on fire, so I'm like, okay, we'll definitely need to get away from this. Almost die. Get down to like 17 HP or something. And then these guys jump out, and I'm low again, catch on fire again. Now I'm down to 40 HP, so you could just see it's just the whole thing, just a catastrophe. But luckily, I didn't. I managed to not die here. Just by the skin of my teeth, get another level there. We're up to level 47 now. And so we're definitely cruising now. I'm thinking, at this point, I was like, if I can get close to like 50 or so, that should be pretty good. So I also just spent tons of time up here kind of grinding. Obviously, just to get that mutant grease. You need so much mutant grease to get your pristine hide up to a good level. But anyway, so yeah, that's going to be, I just came back to base here, got my stuff cooking here. That's going to be it for for part 1. This is going to be a 2-part series. I just wanted to show this whole thing, kind of like a highlight to the RPG mod. Actually had a lot of fun, specifically by doing these like under-leveled challenges in this format. It was actually very unique. So next episode is going to be us headed up to the rest of Act 2, as well as the rest of the game. But anyway, well, hope you enjoyed it. Again, I'm going to have some other videos after this. Probably maybe some PvP highlights. Maybe me narrating over some PvP stuff. Just kind of giving my perspective of what I'm doing. And, where I can improve. But anyway, that is going to be it. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. And we will catch you in the next one.